Hello everybody, and welcome back to Eden's Realm. So, it's been a little bit since you guys have been around here, but I have been keeping up, doing things. I've been running farms, I've been collecting more and more resources, and I've actually done a couple of things. I've messed around with some of the building here. I've replaced like some of the brighter blocks with the copper blocks. And while everything isn't like completely finished, obviously none of this is all done. It needs to end up looking something more like this. I'm pretty happy with this now. I think this is the final design. But I have been getting some stuff done. I haven't really done anything on the road, but I have been doing things. And the main thing that I've been doing is I have been resource gathering. All of this right here is for our world leader. We're finally going to start building it. If you have been keeping up with the latest updates, you know that they removed the spawn chunks in the most recent version, which means that, well, there's not really a ton of use for me to keep that area over there as a perimeter, but because I've already dug everything out around it and I have the world leader set up and planned, we are going to go ahead and do it. Primarily, the goal is to just gather resources from this. I need to, well, I don't need to. I want to collect a bunch of diamonds, and so the world leader is one of the best ways to do that. And also, it'll allow us to actually start making the world leader type farms, or not world leader farms, the farms that go in a perimeter instead of trying to build stuff on our island over yonder. And so I'm hoping that by the time we get this done, we'll actually have some of those farms we can start building, and we'll have a little bit more space to do things. And this just is a large perimeter. It's not as big as the last one I did, but it is going to be a little bit of a struggle. I am going to start building it on stream. I don't think I'm going to run it on stream just because my computer will struggle. But yeah, I'll be recording lots of stuff, and I'll kind of show you as we go along. And just like that, the entire world eater is done. So I spent quite a bit of time on stream working on it. I have yet to test it yet, so we're going to test it out here together. But I'm hoping that it'll work first try. I did a lot of work aligning stuff, so hopefully it will, but only time will tell. I did, however, I was doing some time checking, making sure I have the right area, and if I stand right around in here, if I spawn a spectator here, it'll load the entire area, and I won't have to worry about me flying away and unloading stuff. That way, like, if I die to the world eater, nothing bad happens. And so what we'll do is we'll spawn like a fake player here. The fake player will load the area as if like we had another player on a server, and then we can run the world eater, because if I'm over there at that corner of the world eater is not loaded, and that can cause some problems. Okay, so as you can see, we can't really see the other edge from here, but moment of truth. And I forgot to put the minecarts in. Well, we will see if it flies, and I suppose I can just move the TNT myself. So let's fly down to the end, make sure everything's working. You can see Minecraft's chunk updates are not the finest, but everything does seem to be loaded. And it looks like everything is docking fine. So hopefully that down there will dock. Off it goes. And then we should see that one head out in just a second. Oh, no. Looks like something messed up down here. This one should have triggered that. But this flying machine didn't launch for some reason. Because did it... I don't think it pulled this down. Also, I don't think this docking is right. Yeah, something's wrong here. Okay, well, that's why we have the backup. And after just a little bit of deliberation, I figured out what the problem was. Like 4 blocks. And obviously, I forgot the minecarts. I need to go put those in as well. But, like, it's just one small thing, and it all broke. Okay, this is why schematics are necessary. This is why they are necessary. If I was doing it without schematics, I would die. So I just have to put this back into place without, like, breaking anything. It shouldn't be that difficult. If it is, well, I just get another backup and you won't see this. And it should all be fixed now. Pretty nice and straightforward. I just had to go and check the old world file, and I was copying this area because I thought it had to do something with this, because like this was triggering too early, and I checked it out, and sure enough, it was that. So this should fix our issue. I need to go place in the minecarts, and then we'll be good to go. And we are just getting to the point where it's going to start removing the water. So I think this next sweep will be the first level of the ocean, and then we'll really get to see why it's so important that we have all of these sweepers. We go into free cam here. It'll dock, sends off the new TNT. And here come the sweepers. And you can see they're going to destroy all of the water that's in place there. And there's a level of water here. All the blocks are gone, and it'll just be water, and it'll all get destroyed. So it'll do this layer by layer. There's not really a good way to do it any other way, and it'll keep running. Only been running this for somewhere like 2 hours now, and we're already like 70-80 blocks down. Once we get close to the point where we are going to be doing the levels where there's actual like diamond ore, I'm gonna stop it, and we're gonna take some time to look for the diamond ore. But until then, I think we're just gonna let this stuff keep on running. And just double check. Uh-oh. This is broken. I need to stop and fix this one. I'm glad I saw it. Pretty easy to fix. But we have to come over here and stop it so that it doesn't... so it doesn't move down and go on destroying it. This is actually a good lesson, so we'll be able to look and see what stopped it. My guess is that it's a waterlogged block that didn't blow up, but I'm not 100% certain. Ah, yep, sure enough. So yeah, these waterlogged blocks, I tried to remove all of them, but because they don't blow up, but they also can't be pushed, they cause some problems. So to get this thing to trigger again, all you have to do is you just place a button on this observer here. It'll trigger it off. And off it goes. Pretty self-explanatory. Everything will get removed. And once it gets down there, we can trigger the entire world eater again, and everything will be back to normal. And we're getting there. We are ever so slightly getting closer. I've been running around picking up diamonds, running through the chests that I run into, grabbing all of the good stuff, and I have to say, the World Eater is going well so far. There hasn't been that many hiccups yet. We're finally getting to the point where I've had to start mining a lot more obsidian. There's just a lot of lava laying around that I'm not able to like try and get beforehand, and so it's kind of slowed down the process, but I think all in all, I would consider this a success. It's been going really well, but I do have some other projects that I want to continue doing, and I was talking with some friends the other day on Fellowcraft, and I was thinking about trial chambers and doing like a setup. Oh, speaking of diamonds, doing a setup to like actually farm the trial chambers area. And I was doing some reading on the wiki, and there's a lot of interesting stuff. So I've been putting some stuff together in a creative world, and I'll show you kind of what I'm thinking. So a trial chamber will start spawning mobs if there is a player within 14 blocks of it and the player has line of sight to the trial chamber. So can't be hidden by full blocks, has to be within line of sight. It also will then, once it has been activated, it'll try and spawn, I think it's up to 3 mobs at a time, and it will continue spawning mobs until it's spawned like its internal capacity. And that changes with the ominous potions and such, but it'll continue spawning mobs until they are all gone, whether or not that's killed or moved to another dimension or just like moved far enough away. I think it's it might be 24 blocks, 24 or 50, I forget. But once the mobs are gone, then what it'll do is it'll eject a loot out on top, something like that, and then there's a 30-minute cooldown before it can be triggered again. So the mobs will spawn in like roughly a 4-block sphere around it, so something like this. But the key is that they have to have line of sight to the trial chamber as well, and that's important because what that means is like if we want to segment off something, we can literally just do something like this, and it'll stop all of the spawning back here, and that makes it easier for us to spawn them. And so I was giving it some thought, and we were talking about like ways to go about doing it, ways to go about getting rid of all of the mobs. And because I'm on a single player world, it's actually really easy to send them into the nether dimension. If we were on a server, that would be a problem because they would despawn, but if there was another person in the nether. But if we're on a single player world, that won't happen. They will just be persistent. And so what I'm thinking that we can do is we can just put some nether portals around. Maybe we might need to push some mobs into it, but if we put nether portals around it, we can then just have the mob spawn directly in there, and then they get teleported away to be killed. So this is the setup that we're going for here. We have 3 portals on either side, gives the spawner enough room to spawn everything. And then what we do is we just pump out all of the like reward items through the top here. And so what we can do, if we switch to survival real quick, it'll trigger it, and I have bad omen, so it's gonna trigger all of the fancy bogs. You can see them all spawning because there's a bug in the rendering. And then once it's done, you can see it rises up through the water and falls out down here. And we match all of these together in one big collection system, but what we're doing on the other side is, what we're doing on the other side is we're just killing these guys using some soul campfires. Eventually they'll wander off the platform. Doesn't have to be anything too special, too fancy. We're not really that worried about these bones. We just have to have a way to kill them so that they don't end up destroying our FPS or anything. I'll have to do something about the zombie piglins, but this is the general idea for what we're going to do in the nether. So I've flown a couple of thousand blocks out. We're at like 4,000, 4,000. So a couple thousand blocks away. And I was searching for the trial chambers that are supposed to be around here. And these ones are pretty big, which is what we're wanting, right? We want a lot of spawners. So there's a couple of big rooms. These, like rooms with the catwalks, have quite a few of them. This one has 2 of the catwalk rooms. Big room over there. This is just an entryway. And then one of the problems is that there's a deep dark around here. Shouldn't be the end of the world. But then we fly this way, and there's another one. So 2 trial chambers really close. I looked and I looked and I looked for a place that had 3 that were close together, and I couldn't really find it. I'm sure that there is one in the world, but I don't really know how far I want to travel. And what is... It does not like the new terrain. My computer's struggling with all the rain and stuff. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna start clearing that out and hopefully start building stuff. I need to put myself a portal down here and fly back to where we came from. But yeah, then we'll actually be able to start doing the trial chambers. I don't think we're gonna do that much today, but I needed to get out of the big hole. So as you can see, while we are running through all of the trial chambers here, I've cleared out an area around each of the trial spawners, and I've went ahead, placed an emerald block on top so that I know where they are. And in total, there was around, I think it was 40 trial spawners between these 2 trial chambers. And so the goal is to set all of them up into one big farm that I can put my AFK player into, and it'll go around and trigger all of the trial spawners. But we are going to have to wait and do that in the next episode. But before we do that, I want to take care of one other thing. And that other thing is collecting all of the stuff that we can from these trial vaults. So there's a number of these scattered around, and I have quite a few keys. So I'm going to try and go room by room, make sure I get them all, and we'll see what we get. This was all of the stuff that I got. So, I mean, a couple of good things. The tridents are actually really, really big. If I had thought about this before I had made my drown farm, that would have been nice. I mean, it's not like I need a ton of tridents, but yeah, that would have been smart. And there's just a lot of like moderately fine stuff. I mean, I'm an in-game player, so getting any of this isn't really that useful. The wind charges is gonna be what I have the most fun with. Like, just playing around with these. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to just get around to using them. I haven't used them at all, but we're gonna have to wait for next episode to do some like actual work on the farm portion. But until then, I'm going to do some planning. I'm going to do some playing around with the wind charges, and I'm also going to do some more work on the perimeter. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the episode. Keep an eye out for the next one. We should have the perimeter done by then. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.